Hey, this is Robert, and thank you so much for tuning in to Station Square, or I guess Solomon Shrine-ish in a way, because it's the last day of June, and we're just doing like a series of interviews. It's just been a lot of fun, and yeah, I'm just really thankful that a lot of us are just really excited to start working on the project. And we see our special guest here is another Adrienne rep in the house. I would have got my jacket, but it's just summertime, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is someone who I've known for, I want to say 3-ish years, but yeah, at least around that time. So, this is Aryn Rozelle. Thank you so much for joining me on tonight's episode. And I do mean tonight because it's like evening,
Yeah,
late at
yeah,
night.
it's like 8 o'clock. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. I've been really excited to talk with you about so much stuff, but before we get into that, how was your 2025? Just share all the deets and yeah, just how's it going?
All right. Well, we're gonna get into some of the things later about how I'm a mom now and
Oh
I
yeah,
got that
yeah.
going on in my life. But yeah, it started slow. It's been good despite everything going on in the world. Um, and this month especially, it's like auditions and things just in general are starting to pick up. So I'm feeling pretty good about like the career, but as we all know, like it's always got peaks and valleys.
Yeah, I know. It's just there's a slow period and then there's a time where you're just like, oh, full on locomotive, 90, 100 miles an hour. It
Yeah, and
just
even
doesn't slow down.
emotionally, yeah.
Oh no, especially emotional. Yeah, but regardless, I'm just really happy that we're doing this, and it's just always nice getting to chat with friends and folks on my show, and just getting to talk to them about, and even getting to ask them questions that not too many people really know about. So this is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited for this. So I kind of wanted to know because I sort of knew a little bit about your background, but for those that are kind of curious, when did this whole like kind of voice acting enter into the picture for you? Like performing, just everything in general.
um
Yeah.
yeah, I guess I've always been a performer. Different, totally different thing. I did competitive baton twirling since I was a 7 year old. I did that for like I think 18 years, I want to say, and also coached it. So when I retired from that, like I was looking for some kind of creative outlet. And one night I was talking to a friend at 3 in the morning and was just like, I've always wanted to try this acting thing. I took a single acting class in college and didn't really think anything of it. But, after that conversation, I was just I decided I'm gonna look into what classes are in the area, what's cheap. Like especially being affordable was important to me if I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. And I found an improv class that was like half hour away. From there, I got into film because the teacher was a film teacher. I did some theater, and then my goal was to do voice acting, and I still want to focus on voice acting, but I would love to do I love all other forms of the craft. Like I want to get back into film. I want to get back into theater. So, roundabout way of saying I kind of just wanted to do it one night, and so I dove in.
So basically, just why not? Let's do it.
Pretty much that was the initial thing, and then, a couple years down the line, I decided, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. Like I couldn't really decide what I wanted to do. I graduated with an econ degree in college, and I don't know. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. I just was taught from a young age that I need to go to college, I need to do this, and then I need to get a job. And then it was really hard to get a job. And then I was like, maybe I should be a police officer. Maybe I should be, I don't know, work for the state. Maybe I should be a social media person, which I did do for a little bit. And
Yeah.
the nice thing about acting is I can kind of do everything, little bits of it.
So, needless to say, it was very helpful when it came to just navigating your way in the business, or just
Yeah.
helping you alongside your path, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. So after that, like you kind of got your taste into performing. Like you kind of would. Oh my God, gee, see there, 8 o'clock. My mind is just so fried. So after you were kind of dipping your toes into different, like I guess, skill sets and talents, would you say that having a lot of that, the background of like performing and stage and what have you, just also was very instrumental on you starting your voiceover journey?
It definitely helped. Um, I think voiceover was more of the motivator to keep me going because that was the goal eventually. I wanted to get a mic. I wanted to start getting into video games. I even started going to video game conventions, became a game developer for a little bit for a small company that didn't make any money. Um, but that, I guess, what kind of kickstarted like all the other parts of my career, like the film and stuff, was listening to Crispin Freeman's podcast and him telling us you need to be an actor. So I said, fine, I'll go be an actor, and I did, you know, not just in front of the camera, but like I helped as a crew member. I did what is that called? Not the page, but the you know what it's called? The person who runs around and kind of does all the paperwork, rallies all the actors together. I cannot remember what the word is. It'll come to me. Yeah, the only thing I didn't do was boom operator, I think.
And I know exactly what you're talking about, but I just can't think of the man.
PA. PA.
PA, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. Yeah, it's definitely PA, personal assistant. Yeah, that type of thing. But yeah, on the topic of Crispin Freeman, since we're kind of talking about his voice acting mastery, go check it out. What would you say was something that you really got? What's the most insightful, or just watching episode by episode? What would you say that you really got the most out of? What was the one that really kind of spoke out to you in a way, personally?
Um, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not very far into it. I think I'm in like the episode 20s or so. Um, so nothing specifically has jumped out to me, but it's just like every time I listen to an episode, I pick up one little morsel of information, or one or several, that kind of reminds me that I'm on the right track, or maybe this is something I should try if auditions are starting to feel stale. So yeah, I'm still working my way through it. But every episode is gold.
I mean, yeah, I think he did an episode with I want to say Steve Bloom, where they were kind of talking about. I mean, they kind of had a lot of. I mean, when you watch an episode of Christmas podcast, you know that you're going to be in for quite a treat. But I think it was the episode where they were talking about finding a path and how you can serve the art and not just, oh, I want to be in something. It's like Crispin is very, very specific about just not just wanting to be in the art, but rather how can you serve the art to make it better? Like, how do we, as artists, make a product even more like it shouldn't be about, oh, I kind of want this gig. It's like, I can offer something to this character or offer something to this role that kind of hasn't even really been there before. It's finding the art in ourselves. Thank you. And I was, man, when I first listened to that, it just kind of really changed my perspective on how we perceive like acting. It's like, oh, I want to be in this because I want to be, rich or what have you. But no, it's like we genuinely love doing this, and we're storytellers and we are crafting a character, we're crafting a story, and we're just making magic happen, to put it simply.
Not gonna lie, I did hear him say that exact quote. I forget who the person was, but it was basically love the art in yourself. Don't
Yes,
love
thank you.
yourself in the, or don't love yourself
Yes,
in the art, love the art in you.
exactly.
And I agree. Like that totally like opened up a new part of my brain. Like it's
Yeah,
just one of those things like you kind of know it, but like when you hear it out loud. Yeah, cuz like I'm sure all of us like we got into this because we saw media or we played media or we watched media that we loved and we wanted to be in it. So it's totally valid to like for that to be like the starting place. But then the more I did this, the more I just loved the act of acting.
exactly. So for you, what would you say was something that kind of really stood? I know I keep saying stand out, but what inspired you in a way? Like, was a really major influence? And if you were to also discuss, not just with media, but just anything in your life that just kind of really brought you on this path, made you decide that, you know what, I want to go on this journey.
Well, kind of what I was saying. Like I played a lot of video games growing up. Watched a lot of cartoons. Like my bread and butter growing up was Hey Arnold, which is like on the TV right now. Rugrats, Cow and Chicken, Powerpuff Girls. Like those are the cartoons I grew up with. Even Blue's Clues. Like I was way too old for it, but it was the only thing on TV, so like I watched it, and like it's very I don't want to say helpful, but it's something that like I still bring to my art. The fact that I watched Blue's Clues, it helps me when I have an animation for a kids show. Yeah, I would
Dude,
say like yeah,
yeah.
being I was definitely influenced by voice actors that I saw multiple times, like in media that I loved, and the fact that I could recognize who they were, even if they didn't sound like themselves, was awesome. And sorry, continue.
No, I was gonna say too, because I know there's definitely somebody who I'm gonna bring up in just a little bit, but I also wanted to quickly go back to Crispin. I also remember he did an episode with his mentor, Richard Horvitz, if you can believe it.
Oh, awesome.
And I just remembered that episode because it was just really fun, and you get to really know Richard as a person, and just really getting to know a lot of these people outside of just, oh, they just play characters all day long. No,
Yeah.
you get to know them more about, like, their life experiences, their stories, their different journeys. And after finally taking Richard's weekend workshop, he I think he has like the five W. I mean, we all know about the five W's of acting, but he has like the five steps into acting that was very much influential. And it really did help me a lot when it comes to being in a play pretend background, being in a whole imaginary world, and just being believable. Like, one of the quotes for a reason, it's being believable in make believe situations. And I think Crispin also teaches upon, like, okay, who's the character you're speaking to? Or no, it's Richard. It's like, what do I want? And Crispin is, what do I want for my scene partner? Which I'm pretty sure you can already attest
I've
to.
taken
It's
the
like,
workshop
yeah,
twice, so I know
exactly,
exactly what you're
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, where it's like making so, but at the end of the day, we're making these really strong, like, characters. Like, okay, how would I react if I was talking to X, Y, or Z? Or what is happening in this situation? Who are they talking to? Or what is happening? Like, and even when it comes to specific, because when you're in a video game, like, there's like specific pain efforts that you can do, but it's like, what's happening? Are they in a battlefield? Are they getting punched in the gut? Are they being sliced? Like, what is happening in a scene? So a lot of this stuff really does go whole into the whole process of the job. But I think a lot of it, I don't really treat it as like, okay, because I know a lot of our jobs is like, we audition every single day. Like, we don't really expect to book anything. When we do, it's hey, it's great, but what we're doing is we're having fun. We're building our sandboxes. We're having fun on a playground. It's like, hey, you want to play with me? Like, let's
Hmm.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know I mentioned the person that I was going to mention in a little bit, but and think this is actually the segue as to how we actually cross paths. Skills Hub, Jennifer Hale.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you want to share a little bit about, joining Skills Hub and working with a lot of us, like so many different actors in there. Like I could just name so many people off the top of my head, but I'm gonna prevent myself. So yeah,
Yeah.
Skills Hub story. Let's
Um,
go.
yeah, so my skills hub story, I really wanted to join. And so I actually put it on my wish list. I think it was for Christmas. And my parents got me a gift card and I was like, "Yes, like I've been wanting to do this forever." Like I got a year's subscription. And I didn't really know what to expect. I just knew that like there were a lot of pros and Jennifer Hale was part of it. And when I got there, like I did see that like there was so much I could do. I think I did start with the trial. Even I can't remember. It's that was like yeah I think 2.5 3 years almost 3 years ago. Um, but the thing that really kept me around was the workout rooms. I started going to I think an improv. That was my first one, and then
Was it with Lena?
yes. Yeah. I wanted to say Shelby, but I was like, I know it's not Shelby.
No, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it was
um
probably one of the two, but I definitely remember it was Lena
yeah.
for sure.
And then I did a couple coaching sessions with the coaches cuz like that's one of the other things I love about it, the access to coaches for as much or as little time as you need. Like I think my shortest session was 15 minutes long. Um but the bread and butter of my skills hub experience was running a video game workshop, and then I did a couple of the casting director workshops, which Heidi has amazingly taken over. I haven't gotten to join yet, but like I keep seeing it pop up. I'm like, yay! I'm glad it's still going. Um, yeah, I since I had the baby, like it's been hard to like find time to do the workouts, but I miss that, man.
Well, we definitely would love to welcome you back. I mean, I'm just saying this as somebody who hasn't really even been super duper active on Skills Hub neither because stuff came up on my end, good and bad, but hey, that's
Life
life.
happens, right?
Yeah. But I kind of wanted to get to the next question, which was, I guess out of all the projects that you've done this year that you can talk about, let me emphasize that. What would you say was the most exciting or the most challenging? Just being like, because as a creator, we're just like, okay, which ones are kind of like, what do I want to discipline myself with? Do I want something that's fun or challenging? Just, because a part of the whole growing process is being kind of uncomfortable with some of the stuff that we do. So I kind of want to know from you. I'm just going to stop
Yeah.
rambling.
Nah, you're good. Um, so the two projects that I can talk about that came out this year are Trails Through Daybreak 2 and Tokyo Override, and both of those were dubs. One of them is a video game. One of them is a Netflix TV show. Um, and I I'm pretty familiar with dubbing. I really like dubbing because I was doing these Ukrainian dubs like for super cheap for like the longest time, and it's fun to like hear what the real voice says and try to translate not just like the language but like the acting choices they made and make it into something that sounds realistic in English. So I wouldn't say that was like my biggest challenge this year, but it's a challenge that I always love to take. I love dubbing, even though, if you don't know, it doesn't make a whole lot of money talking to your viewers. Dubbing does not make a lot of money. Um, but video games do. Like, Trails was a union project, and that one got paid scale. So, yeah, that was really nice. Okay, but the thing that I found most challenging this year was my audition approach, and it was more of a mental challenge than it was like a skill challenge. And it was basically me thinking about my character choices differently. Why am I auditioning? Um, Back it up a little. My previously, I was trying to figure out what the casting director wanted. And even though I hear everybody say, like, it's not about what the casting director wants, it's not about what the casting director wants, it's still, like, in the back of my mind. So I've been slowly transitioning myself into thinking, what is happening in this scene? Like what you were talking about with Horvitz and Crispin Freeman. And do I feel like my character believes what they're saying? And that's helped me at least feel better about my auditions. Throw them into the void as usual, but I feel a lot better about them. And something that just happened today, I had a callback audition over Zoom, which was really, really scary. I don't I don't know why. Like I think it's the whole like being live but not having the person in the same room was it's not something that like I've really done before. And so, I mean, I did it.
Yeah. I think it's really fun when you get a callback or just having something that reminds you why you just have so much joy doing it in the first place.
Yeah. I know,
Yeah.
and it's validating at least to know that like you're making choices that make an impact.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess since this is kind of like the second half, I just kind of wanted to I just wanted to talk a little bit about, SAG because I know with the recent strike that is currently suspended, I don't want to say that it's ended just yet, but it's pending.
Yes, we're in
So
voting, and hopefully all goes through.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I just wanted to, yeah. So because I know you've been very active on, because I just wanted to congratulate you once again for being a member of SAG and,
Thank you.
yeah, just being, very vocal about, well, I mean, not, how can I put this? Like you talk about it on social media and you're kind of, very much in support of the actors striking. So for you, would you say that it was definitely a learning experience of getting to learn a lot about the unfairness or just everything that's just kind of been happening and why it's led to something like this?
Oh yeah, it was absolutely a learning experience. When I joined SAG, I was in the middle, or we were in the middle of the TV theatrical strike. So I went from
Yeah.
strike to strike, and I'm really glad it's over. And I wouldn't say that I'm pro strike. I'm very pro union. Like I'm pro what our committee is fighting for.
Yeah, pro
I
union is a
really
better
I
way of
really
putting
believe
it.
in them,
Yeah.
and I believe in the power of all of the members because that's really what the union is. It's an amalgamation of all the members coming together and saying we deserve, basic protections. For this strike specifically, it was like basic protections from AI. I think that like there was a pay raise, break times for stunt actors. Um, yeah, I gotta look at the list again, but like the the gains that we got were only gotten because everybody came together and said what you're offering us isn't good enough. And so I guess my learning experience was that there are other people that have that same mindset and there's a lot of them, which is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And being a member, would you say that there's a lot of I'm saying that like it's pretty obvious, but I know there's a lot of pros and cons of being a member. So for you, would you say that joining SAG would you say that it really changed the trajectory of your career in a positive or yeah, how would you say? How would you describe it?
Um I was kind of prepared for this by my film coach. He told me like do not join until you are absolutely ready because once you do union, there's Global Rule 1, which means you are not allowed to work on non-union projects unless you do something that's called FICOR, and that makes you a dues-paying non-member. That's a legal thing. It's not just about SAG. You can do that in the truckers union. Any union in the United States has FICOR. And where was I going with this? I lost my
So
train
how
of
has it
thought.
changed your trajectory? That's
How
the
has it
question.
changed my
Yeah, I know it's
trajectory?
been a long day. You're not the only one. Trust me. We're just
Oh yeah,
vibing.
I've been up since 6 a.m. because baby wakes up,
Oh,
I gotta wake up. Anyway,
I've been up
how
since
has it
7.
changed the trajectory? Wow, we've been up a really long time. I guess I wouldn't say that it's had a negative or positive impact. I've definitely felt that the income has slowed down because I had to step away from certain projects, like that dubbing project that I mentioned earlier was paying way too low, and I did it anyway because I needed money. But uh, I think they probably ended up replacing everybody with AI anyway, which shitty, but
That's why
like
we
I
were
was,
in a strike in the
yeah,
first place.
exactly. Like I just really hope that like I didn't they didn't use my voice, but it's out there. It was non-union, so anyway,
What can you do
um,
about it? Yeah.
yeah, what
I
can
mean,
I
it's
do
out
about
there.
it?
Yeah.
Uh, but I would say that my auditions have gotten a lot more. Oh, I don't know how to say this. I guess I've been getting auditions that they pay a certain amount, so I know that like I'm getting paid what actors are worth, and every actor who gets that audition would be getting paid the same. We the 5 minute break is not just for stunt actors. That's been a rule for the voice actors for a long time. Every time I go into the studio for a 4 hour session, I get at least 3 breaks. Um, so like little things like that, like I go into my auditions now knowing that I've got I kind of don't have to worry about the whole legal side of things because I know that my union has gotten me a good contract. So I guess that's the payoff. Like I don't get paid right now. Hopefully, like if I keep auditioning, I'll be able to gain a rapport with some like bigger like Sony, Disney, all those really big companies, and they'll want to bring me in. And so hopefully the money will come in soon. And I mean, it's not about the money, but I need to eat.
I mean, look, housing and then all this other stuff that goes in. I shouldn't say any more than
Yeah,
that. Yeah. Adulting 101. What can I say?
yeah, yeah,
Alrighty. Let me see this other question because good thing is you've answered a lot of my questions already, so that's a kind of a good thing. So, oh, okay. Let me see here. So describe how your Oh, this is something that I'm actually really excited to ask. So, how would you say that your ancestry plays a large part in acting? And I guess if we were to combine two questions into one, describe your motherhood experience. Like, I know it's a pretty big chapter in your life, so I love to hear that how it's also been a total life changer for you. So, just combining two
yeah,
questions into one. Yeah.
yeah. So my ancestry, it's interesting because uh I come from this little teeny tiny island called Guam. It is a U.S. territory, but the people on it before they had their own culture and their own language, and they were also taken over by the Japanese and the Spanish and whoever else came and wanted to take over. So, um,
Was that World
there's
War II?
uh yeah, the U.S. There's actually a Liberation Day. Because the U.S. liberated Guam from Japan, And there's a lot of history there that I'm not gonna go into, but like
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
went it was bad. And it's a good thing that the US came in, even though there's a lot of pushback to what the US is doing now to the island. Like there's lots of good and lots of bad when it comes to that kind of colonization. um but I digress. It's kind of difficult to find any media that has my specific culture. So I relate a lot to, you know, Filipino characters, Samoans, other islanders, and I feel comfortable auditioning for those types of characters unless they are looking for somebody who has that accent or speaks that language, or like has a lived experience that's different than mine. Um, Hold on, I actually wrote down something for this. Made sure I
Oh,
had
cool,
my
cool.
thoughts. Yeah. Um, yeah, I would say in the past 10 years, I've had maybe I had one role that was specifically written for me and my ancestry because the creator was also from Guam. Like he was born in on the mainland. But like that was really cool. Like I can actually say that there was a character written for me. But there's probably only been like I want to say 4 or 5 character auditions that I felt were truly like my experience. Um, but a funny story, like when I was coming up in my film career, I was labeled as ethnically ambiguous. Like that was my ethnicity on the casting networks because I could play a Hispanic character. I could play a Native American. I don't think I feel comfortable playing a Native American, especially because that's a totally different experience than somebody coming from an island. So it's kind of a weird thing to navigate in that I have to read the auditions carefully. I have to be sure I'm not taking the role from somebody whose lived experience would suit the character more. If I do submit for something that is not necessarily me, I tell my agent, like, if they're looking for so, that's not me, but if they're okay with this, then submit me. And
Yeah.
then on to baby.
Yep.
Yeah, so that has been a real life changer. That was back in October 2024. So it's been about 8 months.
Wow.
And the first few months, any parent would know, is just kind of a blur. But like the days are like the longest days you've ever had, but it kind of goes by really, really fast because the time isn't real. Um, After a month, I uh, I told my agent I'm ready to get back into auditioning. But I don't know if you or your viewers know this. It takes a woman's body about 2 years to get back to normal. It took me over 6 months to feel like I could, move normally, like pick up heavy objects. Like even that, like you feel a lot of things still.
That is a
So
huge milestone, honestly. That's an achievement right there.
yeah, yeah. So like you know, uh, acting is physical. When I do my voiceover auditions, there's a lot of physicality, and so
Yeah.
like I felt that like as a postpartum woman. Um, and let's see. After that, after baby started sleeping um, overnight, things got a lot more stable. I guess I feel like I can get back into uh, you know I take care of baby morning, afternoon, put him to bed, and then I can work. So I've kind of got a routine going for myself now. Like that's why we're doing this interview so late because baby had to go to sleep.
Yeah, of course. And plus, most of us kind of work during the day anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I figured, like, you know what? Late evening podcast, it's like, you know what? We'll just do it. We'll just make it work. It's like kind of
Exactly.
part of the thing that's, very much is vital in the business. It's like, we'll just have to accommodate and make what's due and find something that works for, for everyone. That's kind of the same as like with a lot of improv,
Yeah.
improvise something, just make it work, make it happen. Boom, one, two, three, let's go.
Yeah. Uh,
We got this.
I did want to add that baby has also given me a lot to work with emotionally in my auditions and when I consume media. So, um, no spoilers, but like in Squid Game, there is a baby that comes into the picture. And like, it's kind of dumb, to be honest, but like, I really triggered. Like, I get really triggered by any like child that like has something bad happen to them or like a baby being left without a mother because like I like I want to watch my baby grow up, and whew, it's getting to me now. Like I can't imagine like even stuff I hear in the news. Like it really gets to me a lot more now than it did before I had a child.
Yeah. Well, all I can say it's yeah. Solomon Trine. Oh boy. I mean, I'm gonna say it's not at the levels of like say, I don't know, Saw or anything, but yeah. Like it starts out pretty innocently. Like if we were to watch like the teaser, then like you probably know what kind of show that you're going to be getting into. Like,
Yeah.
and don't worry, there's still like a lot of lighthearted, like Gravity Falls or Scooby Doo, Courage the Cowardly Dog, that type of stuff. But yeah, there's going to be times where there's going to be a lot of emotional, just stability or instability rather. Like it's
Yeah.
definitely gonna be it's a very 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 emotional like series. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm not gonna give out any specific details or spoilers or anything, but just be prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me. Lots. It's gonna be a wild ride, man.
Hmm. I mean, don't
All
get me
right.
wrong. I love all kinds of media
Yeah,
with
for
all of it.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we'll have to rejoin because it's less than a minute left. So
Oh,
if
gotcha.
you're enjoying this so far, leave a comment and do that YouTube thing, and I'll see you in the finale. Peace. Okay, so welcome to the finale. I don't really have much else to discuss. Oh, actually, did you do like a workshop on Skills Up like a while back talking about like the union and stuff like that?
I did. I did a couple of those. It was just a workout room. This was before any of the strikes happened. Um, I personally thought that not enough people in the voiceover community know enough about SAG. So that was just my way of, I don't know, trying to spread the word. Because I don't know. I feel like all the classes that I took, we just don't talk about the union enough. And it's not about it's not me trying to tell people like, oh, you should join the union, but more like you should be aware of what it is and what the implications are. And it's an interesting situation because at least until recently, it was kind of fine to work off card. So it's really not. You shouldn't do that. But because you can't really track it in voiceover, and the union up until recently kind of didn't care. Uh, it was fine. And I think that's also part of the members need to be the ones who recognize like, oh, we should not be working non-union projects if we're union in order for that to change. So it's kind of a, I don't know if catch 22 is the right term, but the it's okay because the members who are voice actors kind of said it's okay. And this is not a judgment. Please don't see it as that, but like this is just my observation that like if we want more projects to be union, we have to make sure that we push that if we're union, work only union projects. I'm rambling, but
Dude, this is my podcast literally
yeah.
24/7.
But yeah, that was the whole point of that. Just to educate people on what the heck it is. Because I wouldn't have known about it if my acting coach hadn't brought it up every single class, literally every single class. And I was like,
Oh
okay,
boy.
yeah, I know what this is. And then even when I joined, I was like, I don't know what the hell this is. Like I had so many questions, and luckily I was in a place. I was in a Discord server where people were wonderful and they answered my questions. I asked the same questions like 3 or 4 times, and they were so patient with me. And I'm so grateful for that because I felt safe asking stupid questions. And they're not really stupid questions. Like
There's no
the
such
union,
thing as a dumb
yeah,
question,
the
really.
union is so freaking confusing. Like there's so much going on that like and there's so much like legal stuff that like even people who have been in the union just don't know. So anyway,
Yeah, it's super complicated, trust me. And what would you say is something that you learned from doing the workouts and all these different workshops that you've been either in person, online, Zoom, just in
oh my
general?
god, I love directing. I want to do directing like for projects. I'm it's kind of a scary thing for me because I haven't done it before, and like there's so much preparation that goes into it. But every time I do a workout, like I get into director mode, and it's so much fun to try and move a push a person's performance into a certain place. And in doing so, like sometimes you're surprised by like what they do without like my whole thing is like I don't want to or I guess I'm trying not to be too specific with what I want because I want to see what they do with um with my words.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you say, yeah, when you say directing, you mean like doing voiceover or casting, that type of
No,
thing?
no, just
Just in general, okay.
directing. Like somebody reads me the script and I say, "Okay, now I want it this way." Or on this part, imagine that you're in this scenario talking to this person and see what happens.
Right. Yeah.
And that
Well, if
like
the,
that yeah.
yeah.
That's the great thing about the workouts is like that's all just for fun. So like it's I'm sure it's different than like actually being a director and like needing the performance to go a certain way. So that sounds
Yeah,
kind of stressful, but also like super fun.
exactly. So I know you're talking about stage and doing a lot of this other on-camera stuff. So I would like to see more in the future. Like if you do decide to start doing like more of that type of getting it more into that little like rabbit hole
I'm
once
hoping
again.
so.
Yeah.
I at least want to like make my own content, either
Yeah.
voiceover or on camera. But right now, I think I'm going to wait for kid and or kids to go to school, so that I have time to be at home and like do the work.
I mean, hey, like I just recently started branching out into content creating. Like I always made like stuff for YouTube and whatnot, but doing original indie animated projects, it's definitely is it's definitely a learning curve, but hey, it's just some of the most fun that you could possibly do because there's no like you don't have to worry like if you're trying to pitch it to a network, you don't have to worry about like interferences, a lot of corporate
Yeah.
nonsense. Yeah.
No, I did do YouTube content creating for a couple years, and I got so burnt out on it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not something I want to do for income. I want to do it for the creative
Yeah.
outlet.
Did you also stream at some point on Twitch or YouTube or
Yeah, and
whatever?
I want to get back into streaming too, but like
Yeah.
that's another thing where I'm like, I by the time I have time to myself, I either have work to do or I'm so tired or I have to clean the
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel ya. But I think this is pretty much a good note, or somewhat good note to end it on. We're just talking about being
Sure.
tired. Yeah, that's a great note. But yeah, plug in your social media, your the stuff that you're in right now. Just get the hype train going if you can.
Yeah, so if you do Linktree, it's Linktree and Aryn Rozelle, just my full name, no spaces. I'm on Blue Sky. I have a Twitter, but I don't Twitter anymore because that is a hellscape.
I
Um,
deactivated mine, so you're not the only
yeah.
one. You're not missing much. Same with
Um,
TikTok,
yeah, I have a TikTok too, but like I only use it for videos that friends send to me. Um,
but
so
not
what
to
else? Oh,
make
I'm pretty
stuff.
active on
Yeah.
Instagram. Like I post a lot of stories. I haven't been posting like big posts because yeah, I don't really have anything other than my baby to post.
Yeah. But
Um, yeah, Trails Beyond the Horizon is coming out in January. If you have Netflix, Tokyo Override, check that out. Black Desert Online and a couple mobile games. Outer Plane and yeah, a couple things I can't talk about yet are coming soon.
yeah. But for TikTok, you just only use it just whenever friends post stuff, but not actually like
Oh
doing
yeah,
content.
I used to get on TikTok for like 2 or 3 hours at night and just
Oh,
nonstop. I can't do that
yeah, I
anymore. Like
can't
I
do it anymore. Yeah,
yeah
no, I just can't be on socials like just, and especially not doom scrolling. That's kind of why I deleted
yeah.
my Twitter recently.
Oh, I had a funny moment of realization the other. This is totally a tangent, but like I went to the dentist office and I don't know where my phone was, but like I just sat there and like looked around and it kind of brought me back to when I was younger and like just taking in all the scenery of real things around me. Like I want more of that. The information overload on like from like YouTube and Twitter and all that like I don't know how to explain it, but it kind of like dulls my brain.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
you.
So like getting to just stare at the wall. I just stared at the wall and looked at what was on the wall and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, just watch paint dry or just touching grass.
Yeah.
That's actually amazing. Wow, who knew? And yeah, and I guess on that note, any last words or final thought? Any last words? I'm
Yes, I
kidding.
do have last words actually.
Yeah, like final thoughts or just anything to close us out on for this evening.
Yeah, I have two kind of I wouldn't call it advice, but just kind of things I keep in mind that keep me inspired. One of them is in regards to casting. This is from my old teacher. You can be the best damn angel food cake in the world, but if the casting director is looking for a chocolate cake, they're not going to choose you. You're not going to get the job. So that made me feel better about like the possibility of not being chosen for something because this is one of the things I heard in Crispin's podcast. You're not being rejected. You're just not being chosen because they're looking for something specific, and your time will come. Like the thing that's right for you will come as long as you keep auditioning and you don't give up and you keep working that skill. The other piece of advice came from a friend just recently, I think in the past couple weeks. It's a Chinese proverb. Peaches and chestnuts take 3 years. Persimmons take 8. So, what fruit are you hoping to harvest? That changes the length of gestation of your talent. And the harder the crop, the longer the gestation. So, kind of the whole stick with it, keep cultivating your crop, make some peaches. Oh, no, sorry, persimmons. Make some persimmons.
That's
Persimmons
pretty
are
good.
delicious. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now you just made me hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're
And
both kind of foodies in a way.
hell yeah.
Yeah,
And
any favorite?
I guess both of those are kind of to remind you that casting directors are rooting for you.
Yeah.
I've been on that side of things, sort of, like where I was looking for actors and I had a problem. I needed to solve that problem, and I was like, please, please, person, be the person that I need for this project
Yeah,
so I can
right
go
on.
home.
For sure. Favorite food, real quick.
Favorite food pizza.
A heck
Yeah.
yeah.
You
And
you can make
also,
pizzas out of anything or anything into a pizza.
yeah. And what's something like a fun little piece of trivia or just something that you haven't really shared often that people don't really know about you?
Oh, good question.
Fun fact. Yeah.
I guess coming back to the culture question, I'm reconnecting with my culture now and taking a free class with the library curator or the museum curator from Guam. He's teaching the ancient language for free, like every week. So I've been trying to learn the language because I want to teach my baby, and also it's just I would love to learn the language and kind of you know bring myself back into that part of my culture.
Right on.
Yeah.
So, would you like to do an outro? So basically, for what we do, it's the guest just says their name, the number of projects that they've been or they've done in the past, they've been a part of, and just, Station Square podcast with Robert Jackson, or you've listened to it. Yeah, something like that.
Sure, I got you.
All right, whenever you're ready.
All right. This is Aryn Rozelle. I do not know how many projects I've been a part of. I've been doing this for 10 years, so I've done a bunch. You can find them on IMDb or on my website. I have a little resume. And what was it? This has been.
This has
Oh,
been
you've
the
been.
Station Square podcast with Robert Jackson.
Yeah. You've been listening to the Station Square podcast with Robert Jackson.
Perfect. Always the golden number one take. So, with that said, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, kind of the latest interview that I've done in quite some time. So, yeah, who knows if there's going to be more later on down the line. But until next time, take
Good night,
care. Good
everybody, or good
night.
morning, or good afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah, God bless and live long, prosper. Take it easy, y'all. And get some sleep. Bye.
Yes.